What happens in Vegas doesn't always stay there. Subscribe to Emo Saga for grounded, dramatic romances where every choice has consequences, and every story reaches a real ending. Vegas is supposed to blur things. Lights too bright, music too loud, drinks that come faster than your thoughts. A place where you can lose yourself for a weekend and pretend the rest of your life is on pause. That's why I'm here. Not for the glamour, not for the chaos, for the forgetting. I arrive on a Friday night with one suitcase, one credit card, and a very specific goal. Do not think about him. About the breakup. About the quiet, humiliating realization that loving someone for years doesn't guarantee they'll choose you back. I tell myself this is closure. I tell myself a lot of things. The hotel lobby smells like expensive perfume and artificial confidence. Everything is polished, reflective, designed to make you feel slightly reckless. Perfect. My phone buzzes as I wait for the elevator. A text from my brother. You made it? Don't do anything stupid. I snort softly and type back. Define stupid. He sends a laughing emoji, then another message. I'm meeting up with some friends tonight. You're welcome to join if you want. I almost say no, then I see the name he adds beneath it. Ethan will be there. Ethan, my ex's best friend. The man I've spent years pretending not to notice in the background of my relationship. The one who never overstepped, never interfered, never acted like he knew me better than he should. The one I absolutely should not see tonight. I stare at the message longer than necessary. Then I reply, sure, why not? If I'm here to forget, avoiding familiar faces defeats the purpose. The bar is exactly what you'd expect. Low lights, me on accents, music that vibrates through the floor instead of your ears. Laughter layered over bass and clinking glasses. I spot my brother immediately, too tall, too loud, already halfway into a story. And next to him, Ethan. He looks the same, which somehow feels unfair. Dark hair, slightly rumpled like he never quite bothers to style it. Calm posture that contrasts with the chaos around him. When he sees me, something in his expression stills. Not surprise, not discomfort, just recognition. Like he's been expecting me. Hey, he says when I reach them. Hey, it's simple, normal, almost dangerous in how easy it feels. We drink, not excessively at first, just enough to loosen the edges of the night. My brother drifts in and out of conversations, pulled away by friends, pulled back by drinks. At some point, Ethan and I are sitting closer than we need to. At another point, he tells a story that makes me laugh harder than I have in weeks. I notice the way he watches me when I'm not looking. I don't call it anything. I didn't expect to see you here, he admits at one point. Vegas or this bar? I ask. He smiles faintly. Either. I came to forget things, I say honestly. And is it working? I consider it. For the moment, I reply. He nods slowly. That's usually how it starts. The drinks come faster after that. Shots I don't remember ordering. Cocktails that taste like fruit and bad decisions. The music gets louder. The lights blur. At some point, my brother announces he's heading out with friends. You okay? He asks me, slightly too loudly. I'm fine, I assure him. He looks between me and Ethan, eyebrows lifting just a fraction. You gonna get back safe? He asks Ethan. Ethan nods. I've got her. That should have been the moment I left. Instead, I stay. We walk the strip sometime after midnight. The heat has faded into something bearable. The lights feel endless. Artificial day stretching across the night. This place makes everything feel possible, I say, or inevitable. Ethan replies. I laugh. You're very dramatic tonight. Vegas does that to people. We stop at a chapel. One of those kitschy ones with glowing signs and open doors, laughter spilling out as a couple stumbles past. Clearly just married, clearly thrilled. I watch them longer than necessary. Don't even joke, I say when Ethan glances at me. I wasn't, he replies. I was thinking about how strange it is, he says, that people trust a moment enough to let it change everything. I scoff. That's reckless. Or honest, he counters. I don't remember deciding to go inside. I remember laughing. I remember music. I remember him holding my hand. Not pulling, not forcing. Just there, warm and steady. I remember thinking this is fine. The last clear thought I have is standing in front of a mirror in my hotel room later. heels kicked off, hair a mess. Ethan leaning against the wall watching me with an expression I can't quite read. "You okay?" he asks. "Yes," I say, and I mean it. I wake up to sunlight and silence. My head throbs gently, the way it does after a night that went on too long. The sheets feel unfamiliar. The room smells like hotel soap and something warmer. I stretch, and I notice the arm around my waist. I freeze. Ethan is asleep beside me. Close. Too close to explain easily. My heart starts to pound. Not panic, not yet. Just sudden, sharp awareness. I lift the sheets slowly. I'm still dressed. So is he. Relief washes through me, until I see the ring on my finger. It's simple. Gold. Real. My breath catches hard. No. We speed. I sit up abruptly, the movement waking him. "What's wrong?" he asks, voice thick with sleep. I stare at him. Then I hold up my hand. "Why?" I say slowly. "Am I wearing a wedding ring?" He goes very still. The silence stretches. Then he sits up, runs a hand through his hair, and exhales. "Okay," he says. "Before you panic." I am panicking. "We should talk," he finishes calmly. My heart pounds harder. "Talk about what?" I demand. He meets my eyes. "The fact that you're my wife." The word lands like a dropped glass. Sharp. Final. Impossible. I stare at him, waiting for him to laugh. He doesn't. "This is not funny," I say. "I know," he replies. "I wouldn't joke about this." "Ethan," I whisper, "this is Vegas." "Yes. And you're my ex's best friend." "I'm aware." "And my brother doesn't know yet," he says gently. That somehow makes it worse. I look down at the ring again. Solid. Real. My stomach twists. "This was a mistake," I say. He doesn't argue. "It was a decision," he corrects. "A drunk one. But not a mistake you didn't participate in." "That doesn't make it better." "No," he agrees. "It makes it complicated." I swing my legs over the side of the bed, trying to ground myself. "Why would you let this happen?" I ask. He watches me carefully. "I didn't let anything happen," he says. "You wanted it. You said it felt right." I shake my head. "I don't remember that." "I know," he replies quietly. "But I do. The room feels too small now. Vegas doesn't look forgiving in daylight." I press my hands into my face. "This can't be real," I mutter. Ethan reaches for my wrist, not gripping, just steady. "It is," he says. "But we don't have to decide anything right now." I laugh sharply. "I think being married counts as something already decided." "Legally," he says. "Yes." "Emotionally?" He doesn't finish the thought. I put my hand back. "I came here to forget my life," I say. "And now?" he asks softly. I meet his gaze. Now I think I might have ruined it. He holds my stare. Or, he says quietly, "You finally stopped running from it." My phone buzzes on a nightstand. A message from my brother. "You alive? Breakfast later?" I stare at the screen. Then at Ethan. Then at the ring. I swallow hard. "Don't answer yet." Ethan says. "I don't, because I already know. Whatever happened last night didn't stay in Vegas. And when my brother finds out, everything is about to explode." I don't answer my brother's text right away. I set the phone face down on a nightstand, like it might burn me if I keep looking at it. The room feels too bright now. Sunlight exposing everything I was able to ignore in the dark. My dress folded over a chair, Ethan's jacket draped neatly beside it, the faint indentation of two bodies on the bed. Married. The word still doesn't feel real. "This is insane," I say, pacing the small space between the bed and the window. "People don't just wake up married." "In Vegas, they do," Ethan replies quietly. "That's not comforting." I know. He stays seated on the edge of the bed, elbows resting on his knees, hands loosely clasped. He looks steady, not smug, not panicked, which somehow make me more unsettled. "You don't look surprised," I say. "I was surprised last night," he answers. "This morning, I'm just aware." "Of what?" "Of what this means," he says. "And what it doesn't." I stop pacing and face him. "Explain." He meets my gaze, expression careful but honest. "It means we made a legal decision," he says. "One we can undo, if that's what you want." "And what doesn't it mean?" I ask. "It doesn't mean I tricked you," he replies. "And it doesn't mean this came out of nowhere." That last part hits harder than I expect. I fold my arms across my chest. You my ex's best friend. Yes. My brother trusts you. Yes. And you still married me? He nods once. Because you asked me to. I scoff. I was drunk. So was I, he says. But I wasn't confused about how I feel. The words settle heavily between us. I never crossed the line when you were with him. Ethan continues. Not once. I didn't flirt. I didn't interfere. I stayed where I belonged. I remember that. How he always kept just enough distance. How he never looked at me when my ex was in the room. At least, not obviously. And after, I ask. He exhales slowly. After, I waited. Because you needed space. Because I didn't want to be a rebound. My chest tightens. So why Vegas? I whisper. Because you weren't running, he says gently. You were choosing. I sit down heavily on the bed. I don't remember choosing you. I know, he says. But I remember the way you looked at me when you did. That's not fair. No, he agrees. It's not. Silence stretches. The kind that asks you to sit with what's already been said instead of trying to escape it. What happens now? I ask. That depends on you, Ethan replies. We can get this annulled. Today if you want. I'll look at him. And if I don't, then we talk, he says. In daylight. Sober. Honestly. My phone buzzes again. Where are you? My brother texts. Ethan isn't answering. I close my eyes. He's going to lose it. I say. Yes. Ethan replies. Probably. And my ex. That part won't be easy, he admits. Nothing about this will be. We meet my brother at breakfast an hour later. I'm still wearing the ring. Not because I've decided anything, but because taking it off feels like pretending nothing happened. My brother notices immediately. He always does. What's that? He asks, pointing at my hand. I take a breath. We need to talk. The explosion is contained. Angry. Confused. Hurt. But not violent. My brother storms out halfway for his omelet, muttering something about betrayal and boundaries, and Vegas is cursed. My ex doesn't throw a punch when he finds out later that day, but he does walk away without a word. That hurts more than I expect. By the end of the day, I'm exhausted, emotionally wrung out. Ethan walks me back to the hotel in silence. I don't expect forgiveness overnight, he says finally. From anyone. I don't even know what I expect for myself. I admit. That's okay, he says. You don't have to decide tonight. We sit on the edge of the bed again. This time, there's no panic. Just reality. You can leave, I say. Get your own room. I know, he replies. But you're staying? Yes, he says. If that's okay. It is. We don't sleep together. Not like that. We talk instead about the years we orbited each other without touching, about the breakup, about how sometimes the thing you avoid the longest is the thing that was always meant to be faced directly. Sometime near dawn, I fall asleep against his shoulder. It feels safe. Weeks later, back home, the dust settles. The annulment papers sit and sign on my desk. So do divorce papers I never thought I'd consider so soon. Ethan doesn't pressure me. He just shows up. Coffee. Conversations. Quiet consistency.